Genevieve Peter Scott, she's not the anointed candidate for U.S. Senate. A lot of people say, and this is, when Stuart Rhodes from the Oath Keepers, we're trying to say that, oh, hey, we're getting all this pressure because, Mike Rogers is anointed. He's the anointed one. We're all expected to fall in line and bow to him. And he's like, wait, the primary is not even over. The primary is still on. But now it's
until August.
Until August. So we got another almost 7 months of primary season. And they're still expecting you to bow to Mike Rogers and say that you must support him or you're a bad Republican. You're responsible for the Democrats winning if you don't, not just if you don't support him after the primary, but right now with 7 months to go. If you want to support one of the challengers, there are two challengers. If you support one of those people because you think they're better on their merits, then you are a bad person. You're a bad Republican. You're the other. You should be thrown out of the party. You're a libertarian. You hate Trump, blah, blah, blah. So that's where we're at now. It seems like things are really backsliding in a bad way within the Republican Party in the state of Michigan. So many people who were formerly grassroots, who were formerly constitutional, they don't care about any of that anymore. They are down on their knees, bowing to Mike Rogers. The worst rhino. I've been speaking out against Mike Rogers now for years, ever since he ran for Senate the first time. And I have never heard one of the people who are pro Mike Rogers make an argument in favor of his record. They cannot defend his record. They cannot point to one lie that I've said about his record or one lie that Christian Megyn Kelly has said about his record. So they can't defend it. They know everything that's being said about him that's so terrible is true. But it's just, you need to bow down, you need to support him. And, President Trump endorsed him. President Trump also endorsed Mitch McConnell. He also endorsed Ronna Romney McDaniel. He also endorsed Mitt Romney. He also endorsed many people who turned out to be not so good. Mike Pence was his vice president. He hired John Bolton to be the national security advisor. So there's been, with his choices in terms of cabinet appointments, some have been good. His choices in terms of endorsements, some have been good as well. But some have been not so good. So just by saying that President Trump gave him the endorsement, that rubber stamps him and we all need to bow to Mike Rogers. I think it just shows more that Mike Rogers, because he's been a swamp creature for so long, because he knows which levers to pull, which buttons to push, which consultants to pay off to clear the field of any quote-unquote serious contenders. I think that's how he becomes the heir apparent, not because of his merits, not because he's electable, but because of his many decades of being a swamp creature. He knows how to play the game better than everyone. And hey, good for him. You're great at being a lobbyist. You're great at being a deep stater. You're great at being an establishment politician. And you think that can get you to the primary. We'll see. Maybe it will. But I can guarantee you it's not going to get you through the general. You will be a two-time loser if you get through the primary. Not because I have some level of outsized influence where I can just swing 10% of the vote in the general. That's not why. It's because the independents are sick of career swamp politicians, and now they are 45% of the electorate. That's who Republicans need to be appealing to. They don't need to be appealing to the base of people who will support whoever Fox News tells them to support. Those people are going to vote Republican anyway. When you're preaching to that choir and you're putting up a candidate who only appeals to that level of people, then you will lose, and you deserve to lose. And after you do lose, I'm going to be there after the fact. I'm going to have some very nice jagged rocks that I'm going to put out there to lay out for you to brace your fall. Pride goeth before the fall. So now you still have 6 months to avert course from Mike Rogers. I don't think, I hope that, you'll see the light. But if not, there will be consequences after November.